Hello and welcome to today's Daily Dominion, which is this isn't actually all that good of a 5-2, but anyway, which is Pure Menagerie. This isn't. I guess I go Barge Supplies. This isn't the best 5-2 ever. You kind of like to buy a scrap in the opening. I mean, you can bite the bullet and just go scrap supplies, but I think I'd probably take a barge. Should be able to build pretty big here, though there is no alt VP, so you are slightly limited to how long you have. The deck you build should be fairly robust to holding duchies, so that'll help. And it can all, I mean, there's just so much draw here. It's just tons and tons of draw. And there's ways to add money pretty rapidly in Wayfair if you need to just gain a lot of silvers. But beyond that, it's just there's a lot of draw. It's just so many horse cards, and then Destrier, of course, Lab and Martin, just everything. And then you'll just be masterminding draw. So it's kind of a funny board in that sense of being just wildly sometimes you get all the like an all draw board and there's no payload stuff, but there's lots of payload stuff here too, so it's not super strong payload. But what if we go, you know what we can do here, we'll go next turn, we'll just buy the scrap now. So we're going to play the duration effect on the barge, and we'll buy the scrap, and we're going to be able to, and we're going to trigger a shuffle where the barge is missing, but we are going to get a shuffle with the scrap inside of it, which is kind of nice. And so like we have scrap estate here, and it's obviously it's not a very long shuffle. So the AI is probably just going to do like Wayfair money for the most part. We can get a 3 and a 4 here. We could get scrap and Destrier if we want a second scrap, which I think is okay, though maybe not necessary. We can also go like Snowy. So Destrier's price is going to lower after we buy the first card. So we can either get we could get supplies in any of the 5s, or we can get 3 in the Destrier. You can also, I could have also, if I had really wanted a village, just to talk about it, we could have done this, bought the hostelry. Well, maybe this doesn't quite do enough. Hostelry, 3 horses, lowers by 4. No, so you actually don't quite have enough money. I guess playing coppers versus using coppers to gain horses does the same change in the price, unless you're doing multiple Destriers, so that doesn't change the equation there. Never mind. So it's the second scrap question. We're not gonna have like a whole lot to fuel the scrap, so maybe a second one isn't all that good. So we're gonna go Snowy Destrier here. That is not doing bad. We could do a scrap into a mole and save the horse and try to draw some Tron to the barge that way. It sees the same number of cards. It's just we can go like scrap and take action, and then horse or coin. And then we could do weigh the mole with the horse, which this is all okay. And then I think we go next turn here. Maybe not ideal, but I mean, drawing into the 3 estates wasn't the best thing ever, but We need to... Now, this is a point where we maybe could have gone hostelry multiple destriers, but I think we need to get like a wayfarer. And we do need to start adding in the masterminds at some point. Maybe a second barge and a mastermind. Though our village situation is a little bit... Oh, that doesn't work that way. It would have to be a wayfarer. Our village situation is a little bit dubious here. Oh, we do have a lot of horses. Okay. All right, we found the snowy, which is huge. Just go ahead. We could... Actually, let me think about this. How many terminals do we even have left, or like horses? If we play the snowy, we can almost certainly just use those actions. We don't have that many actions left. So we can keep... We'll play the scrap after the snowy, and we won't have to use plus action on the scrap. I think we'll try and play... Yeah, we'll try and find one of these things. The mastermind specifically. So the mastermind supplies is a really, really powerful interaction. So we actually are a little bit short on... If we hadn't found the supplies yet, I would play the destrier here, but I'm just going to play the mastermind and the scrap. We can't play both. And then we could gain silver and horse, and the destriers would be all the way down to 2 by the time before we're buying stuff. We have 7. We should get us another mastermind and maybe another wayfarer. That would require getting coin. It should all start going pretty crazy soon. We definitely need a mastermind. I say that there are other things that could be easily worth buying here, but eight is kind of nice. So I think I'm gonna go. So it does not get us to a destrier, because we're gonna have, if we spend it, we go, actually, no, we need the destriers to get down to, it's the same thing. Gaining silver, gaining horse or coin, as far as the destriers go here, all equivalent, basically. Unless I was going to buy 2 destriers. Which, you know, we could. Alright, I've decided. I wonder if we get low enough by doing buy, if we can do 3 horses. We're at 7. I think we'd need both. I think we would need both. Let's go ahead and get both. We should draw everything. Fine. Oh, we can get right. The Wayfarer I don't know if this is bugged or not. I'm assuming this is implemented correctly. I think when the destrier is lower, this just goes down to, the Wayfarer just goes down with it. Okay. Because when we bought the destrier, it was 1, but I don't think it checks that. It checks what it costs at the moment. I think. I don't know. Okay, so let's just get a Wayfarer. We should have plenty of actions because we're going to mastermind the horses. And each turn, we're going to be able to mastermind horses quite easily. So we're just going to be running through here, I think, without any sort of difficulty. And we're going to be able to take the silvers pretty aggressively. And we should have, for the most part, the buys to make use of them. Okay. So do we even have to play? Are we going to play the barge? Play the barge for buy. Or for draw now. So we should have time for all this. And you can see as we gain these silvers, the destriers will be cheap forever and ever, basically. Let's get, I guess, buying horse. And then we'll do this. We're even accumulating some horses here. All right. So now the world is our oyster. Let's get a paddock. Let's get another mastermind. Let's get a barge. Are we going to run into village issues here? We may want a hostelry. May want a hostelry. Where are we at? If we get a barge here, I mean, we're going to mastermind a horse. We still had 2 actions left here, but I've added paddock, mastermind, and barge. Well, I don't know what I've added so far. What have I added? I think we're okay. As long as we just use the scrap. As long as the scrap gives plus action, I think it's fine. The scrap can quite easily do, so. Though we have to play it now. So we're going to trash well, we could have played some horses, but we're going to trash this and we're going to get action by horse, I think. And then we should be good. Yeah. Okay, perfect. We only have 1 supplies top deck, so technically this mastermind could whiff, though the odds of that occurring are exceptionally low. We can always buy another supplies to fully guarantee that that can't happen, but I think we're going to miss a horse gain here, but I'm not going to undo and fix the draw because I don't care. So we get a hostelry now. So now we're okay. Totally, well, we're already okay on actions, but we're even more okay, I guess. I don't know. Can get barges. We could get another Wayfarer, but we're pretty good on that front. The AI still has not bought a province, though we're going pretty fast here. It's just turn 9. And we're already up to like triple province. Money wise, or close to it, maybe not quite, but quite close to it. They bought a mastermind. That's fun. Here, let's play the Wayfarer 3 times. We're just loading up on the silvers. Because we have the draw. Keep getting the buy. Scrap something. Our paddocks are almost activated. Not quite, but almost. It's just so much extra draw here. One, two. We again do need to take plus action on the scrap. Oh, we're up to, we're nearly to quad. I guess we can take 3 and get to can we get to 40 next turn? Probably. Let's see if we can just do it. Well, AI also is a reasonable shot at lowering, but we'll go 3 and then what we're gonna want are probably some Wayfarers. So maybe 2 Wayfarers here. We don't have to play the masterminds on this final turn, so that frees up a couple actions. And then I don't, oh, we had so many unplayed horses, so I'm sure we'll have the draw. And this should get us the money just fine. We can also scrap one of the masterminds. Which will be helpful. We didn't empty the Destriers, which maybe would have been useful for the paddock stuff, but that's okay. I'm gonna find the hostelry. It's funny. I think we got above 40, yeah. Well then. Okay. Pretty good. Not bad. Very nice Wayfarer board. So much draw. If you have drawn by, Wayfarer starts to look, and of course you always have draw with Wayfarer, but if you have, you know, sufficient plus actions, the silver gaining is bonkers. As a way of, as long as buy is plentiful, it's incredibly good. So, all right, I didn't think I'd get 8 and a duchy in 11 turns, but that is what happened. our draws were probably pretty good to have that happen. AI bought a lot of supplies. That is what the AI did. And other than that, I'm not really sure. Wasn't watching. So anyway, cool kingdom, very, very big. Lots of horse stuff. And nice desk chair and Wayfair price changing trickery to mess around with. So some interesting stuff. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.